Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 2 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely check out my previous series in Transport Fever. It will be linked in the description below. And if you're a returning viewer, as always, like and comment, let me know how I'm doing, and subscribe for more videos. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into episode 2. We're just taking a look at that great passenger rail line running from Stafford up to Honiton. It's doing pretty good. We're getting pretty good passenger numbers. But there is going to be a very interesting, pretty glaring something that is missing that was in here last time. That's right. So this is, let's just say that this is the third time recording this video. And this line, particularly this shipping line, was so unprofitable, and we had no more ability to take out a loan after putting it in, that we were essentially barely breaking even and just would have absolutely no way of paying off that loan. And the reason was that that ship had 90 capacity, and it was running with maybe 30 oil in it. So it was running a third full from Warminster up to Retford and then completely empty on the way back, and the trucks were just not capable of getting enough crude up there. So I went through and deleted the whole thing and tried to let it run, and the $10 million loan that we had at the time, you can see we only have 5 now, was just eating away at our money. Our passenger lines and our grain line were not capable of digging us out of that hole. So I called a major mulligan, and I went back and reloaded the autosave from right before we put it in. I don't know, maybe we just got lucky with the builds that we did in the last playthrough that we didn't run into this issue, but we had essentially gotten into a somewhat of a death spiral. So I hope you guys are okay with that. I mean, otherwise you could just watch me lose just right off the bat, and that would be the end of this series. Very quick series. So we're gonna accept that mulligan, and we're gonna put that in with a rail line right off the bat, and I think that that's gonna work a lot better. Nothing else has changed. I did do some decorating off camera that I wanted to show you guys. So down here at this farm, I just did a couple things. I connected the dirt in from the farm all the way through to the station, just to kind of make it more of a, one cohesive unit. I put in this nice wall, a little cover with some grain underneath, some goods, some hay, and then I put in a little general store, Henry's General Store, and he's got some goods behind here that he sells. And I would just think that that would be something that would be likely to pop up at a place that is going to draw so many workers and so much traffic. I mean, even stuff as simple as, like, if one of these wagons blows an axle out here, they need to have some ability to fix it. And it wouldn't be surprising that somebody would open up a small general store, in an area that's so heavily trafficked. So, what are we going to do to remedy the issue that we dealt with last time? We're going to go ahead and we're going to put in this rail line right off the bat. So to do so, I'm going to delete out some of these roads, and I'm actually going to delete this bridge altogether, just because it's going to be in our way when we put in this rail line, I imagine. So let's go ahead. We'll get a 240 meter platform. I'm going to have to take out some loan. So we will put in a 240 meter platform here. And this is going to do, you can see it's doing some things to the terraforming, to the terrain. We will fix that for sure. Like, I hate the way that looks, but for now, we just don't have the money to really deal with it right now. So we're just going to leave it be for now. And then I'll go ahead and put this in, like, right up there, as close to the road as we can get it. Great. So now that's up here. This will look great once I can go through and kind of decorate it up. And now we're going to need to put in a bridge. And I think I'll put in this portion first, just because this is going to be a long, straight portion, and then we can curve these in after the fact. So that's probably going to curve to like there. So if I take it and go right to there. Yeah. That's going to look good. That's a nice smooth curve. And now we need to come into here, and we're going to have some terrain issues because there's this small hill that's running down the length of this island. So I think what I'll do is I'll kind of curve this over to here. Maybe back it off like 1 or 2. And then try and connect that in. Yeah, so we'll get up to 63, 60. That's okay. And you'll see what I mean by the terrain. We had to cut right through here. But that's just kind of something that's necessary. Because going up and over that hill with rail, is just not, you know, not realistic. So I just want to see where the edge is over here. Because I'm going to put in... We're gonna have a siding over here. And then we'll curve this up here. See if we can get 35, and then merge it in right before that bridge. We'll come in here with a signal. It's not one way, so if they ever need to return to the depot, they can do so. And now we'll go ahead and put that in. So now let's establish this line. So this is going to be Warminster Crude. So it's going to be a rail line. Warminster Crude. We'll make it kind of a teal color for the crude. We'll have it load with a full load. Maybe 90 seconds. It shouldn't matter. There should be plenty of crude on that line. But let's go ahead and let's see what we should do. So the Baldwin 6-wheel. I was talking about potentially using this. I just don't think it's going to be able to move enough. So like, where do we get to pour? So that's where we get to pour performance with the Baldwin. 56 capacity, or let's say 49 capacity, because we don't want to be in pour territory. Mediocre is kind of where we want to stay. 49 capacity. I just don't know if that is worth it. Like, this is kind of a long, not a long run, but it's a pretty decent run. So I think we'll go with a general. That way we can kind of get this up. So it looks like we're going to need about 3 million to do this. So we'll do that. And then we'll come back in here and we will buy that vehicle. And we will put it on that line. And now we have a little bit of extra money. So one thing that we could definitely do is get more vehicles onto this grain line, because we know that that's a profitable line. So if I buy 6, how many are on it now? Yeah, 6. Oh, not that. So yeah, we'll double those. And now we got 92,000 left. I might get a few more vehicles onto this passenger route. I just want to spend the money before we lose it. So where do we want vehicles? I mean, do we want another for these inner city carriages? That might be good to get more people to the train. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and I'll add one more. So where is this? Which line is this? Bus to train? Yeah, I'll add one more stagecoach to each of these lines. So the Honiton and the Stafford. Oh. Yeah. Honiton and Stafford bus to trains both have one more. And then I think, do I have enough to get one more? No. I could get just a regular horse-drawn carriage, but I don't really want to. Let's see, 27,000. Can I get anything else? How much are these cargo? Nope, those are 32. Could get just a regular horse-drawn carriage. Again, don't really want to. So I guess we'll just go ahead and let it run. And let's see how we do. This is going to lose us a ton of money on this first run. Just the nature of the game. But that should work. And then let's see, how's our passenger train doing? So we got 32, 34 waiting on the station. Got a bunch of people waiting up here, which is good to see. What do I have these guys doing? So at North Road, they're waiting for full load for 60 seconds. And then over here, yeah, they're waiting for a full load for 60 seconds. Do we have any limitations on the train? Yeah, so they're also waiting for a full load for 60 seconds. He got 38. That's definitely a good amount. And now our train is coming back. And he's going to load up with crude. We've got a ton of crude on this platform, which is great. So he should just pull right in, load up, and leave. Which will be good. He's definitely getting up to his top speed. And he should honestly maintain that top speed the whole way through. Which is good to see. So we will let him do his thing and see if we can make some money. How are these doing? These have mostly full. 37 out of 40, that's pretty good. And that Warminster crude is losing us a ton of money, but it hasn't made a delivery yet, so that's not surprising. And 340 plus thousand is actually not a good representation of how much it will actually cost to do the full length. At least I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure for some reason on that first run, I don't know if it factors in like the cost of, like, I don't know if you pay the maintenance cost on the train right when you buy it, and then, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I don't believe that is reflective of what this is actually going to do. But regardless, let's see how much he makes on his delivery. And I'll get rid of the costs. Alright, so he virtually broke even there, and now let's see if he can start to get into the positive. So a couple other things that I did just kind of off camera was I cleaned up some of the sand. Let's see if I can show you a good example. Sometimes when you build bridges, it does this. It brings the grass all the way down to the edge of the water, and I just kind of like to come through and back that off a little bit. So I kind of back it off with a full strength sand brush. Trying not to disturb the rocks. And then I come in with like a third strength sand brush and just kind of feather out the grass. Kind of blend it. And then we can come in here with like some mixed tropical trees and add in, you know, a bit more foliage. Just to kind of make it look a little bit nicer. Like here's actually not too bad. So I might just feather like right off the bat. Probably come through with a bit stronger brush and back a lot of this off like the water line. But for the most part, like this area wasn't terrible. And then we can come through here and just add in, you know, a couple trees here and there. just to kind of liven things up a little bit. All right, so let's see how this guy did. Yeah, so now he's hugely in the green from that delivery. And again, I don't know what it is. That first delivery is always super expensive. It's kind of odd. Then we'll just come through here and clean some of this up. Just a little bit. And then we'll just add some more trees in here. And you can see, like, there were no trees over here where that road was, so let's go ahead and kind of fill in where that road used to be. So that you'll never know. You'll never know it wasn't there. It's like magic. And then we'll just fill in, we'll just clean up this as well. Clean this up a little bit. Nice. All right. So I think that we should be good. So he's getting paid about, what's he getting paid about? 400. I think he made 2 deliveries in here, so about 440 per delivery. So that should make us plenty of money, and it should allow us to start paying down that loan. So we've got 10 million in loan right now. This should bump us probably up into the green. Perfect. All right. So now that we're confident that we are going to get ourselves out of the loan, what I think I'm going to do is let this run. I'll pause the time so that no time passes, but I'm going to let this run off camera for a little bit so we can pay down some of this loan. While we have these huge loans and it's just eating away at our income, there's not that much building that I can actually do. And there are a bunch of things that I want to do in this episode. So I think I'm just going to let that run a little bit off camera just to kind of eat away at that loan a little, you know, give us a little bit of breathing room. And then I will come back and join up with you guys in a few minutes. All right. Bye. Hey guys, and we are back. So we're just taking a look at the oil line, the crude line, and it's doing really well, and our train is really dirty. So I've let, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes or so pass, and we've gotten our loan down to 4 million. We've got some nice money in the bank, and we should start to be able to do some stuff. So just really quick, I did a little bit of decorating while we were waiting. I also added a, passenger car, one more car onto this train, just so that we could get a bit more capacity. We've got plenty of people at the station, so it's working great. And then I also went ahead and started building out the siding at both of our depots. So I went ahead and put, now that we've got 4 passenger cars on this train, we've now got 4 cars in our siding here. And I'll just keep expanding this as we get more lines on. And then I did the same thing over here. So if I come over, where is it? Our crude oil siding. We've got our siding of oil cars over here. And then I went ahead and filled in the grass in between the track with some more gravel, just to kind of clean that up. I just think it's going to look nice having when these sidings get built out as we get more lines on them. So great. So now that we're starting to get a little bit more money and our income is well under control, there are a couple things that I want to do. One of those things is I want to extend this passenger rail line up to Dudley. And then I think we can get this construction materials going as well. So we could do a loop here. But I think what I'm going to do is just have trucks delivering the construction materials into Farnborough. And then another line that's delivering the stone over, just because it's so quick. So let's go ahead and get a line set up here. So I'll probably just curve this off a little bit. Let me see if we have any terrain to contend with. We do not. I was even actually thinking of putting in like a little shuttle, train line, but I think it's just a little too close. I think we can do it with trucks, and it'll work just fine. If we start running into issues of not getting enough materials up here, we can go ahead and try out a train line and see if that'll work. So I'll just come in here. Maybe I'll go like right there. And now we can come in here and put some cargo platforms on here. We need 2 of them. One to drop off the stone, and then the other to pick up the construction materials and ship them in. And now we're going to need another stop up here, just with 1 station. So we'll kind of spin this around. Put it in right like that. Probably add in another little extra storage capacity down here. I do it more just for the aesthetic. So now we'll connect that in. Connect that in. And now let's set up our first line. So this is just going to be the stone drop-off. Make it like a dark gray. And I definitely want them to wait for a full load of stone. And this is going to be a truck route. Farnborough. Stone. And now we're going to need a depot in here. So I might put it in like right here. I think that'll work well. So we'll kind of spin that around. Sneak that in right there. Let's go ahead and get some cargo vehicles on here. So I'll probably use, let's see. Okay, so these open carriages, these flatbeds, can carry stone, which is perfect. We don't have quite enough money to get those vehicles on there yet, so I'm just going to come down here, and while we wait, let's figure out where the construction materials should be delivered. So they're going to come down in on this road here. And maybe if I have them kind of loop up and just drop right there, that should work. So let's go ahead and get another line on here. And we'll make this a darker red. They'll wait for a full load forever before they head into town. And then I'll have them go right up here. And so this is going to be a truck route. Truck route. And it's going to be Farnborough Construction Materials. Perfect. Now let me speed this up a little bit so that we can start to get some money. I'll also let the time run again, now that we're back in the video. I'm trying to think if I did anything else off camera. I added a couple more vehicles onto here, just like 4. And then I think I added like 2 more stagecoaches onto this line, just because there are tons of passengers waiting to go on this stagecoach, and it's running full the entire time. We come here, yeah, 60 the whole time. And then the train is also running full almost all of the time, which is great. 49 passengers as this train is pulling in. We got 5 more coming up. So it'll be mostly full. And that's making us really good money too, which is great. So let's see, we need to get some cash. So the big payoff is this one right here, the crude. Making us a ton of money. So let's go in here now and get some vehicles. So we can go with these flatbeds for both of these lines. So maybe we'll go with 8 to go get the stone. And then I'll probably just get like... Well, all I can afford right now is 2 for the construction materials. And these are really interesting looking flatbeds. They've kind of got this gap in between. It's basically like just a frame. So I'll be interested to see kind of how those hold the equipment. or the materials that they're trying to ship. So great. This line should work really well, especially once these start delivering stone regularly, and then these can kind of run on a more regular basis. So that'll be great. And just as we get more money throughout the game, I'm going to go ahead and pay that loan all the way down. So we might get to it this episode. We might get to it next. Either way, it will get paid down, and this is working a lot better than having that shipping route in here. I will probably reestablish that shipping route at some point because we do need to get the oil up there. And now at least we're getting, you know, a good amount of crude up there. But in order to increase the capacity onto here, like if we go into this train, as soon as I add another car, we drop down to poor performance. And we're already struggling to get to 28 miles an hour. It basically gets to 28 like right as it pulls into the station. So the only way that we could add on more capacity would be to upgrade the whole train to this Baldwin Class 56, which has much higher tractive effort and a higher top speed. We could do that. I think I'll probably wait until we are completely done with our loan before we actually go up and do that. Probably buy a few more carriages. And we'll just have to see kind of which vehicles or which lines need those carriages. This is kind of interesting. They just put it right on those planks. Looks pretty cool. So I'm thinking I'll probably put one on each of these lines. Actually, I'll probably send you back to the depot. And then I'll put you on the other line. Let's see, actually. Can I get 2 of these? Not quite. We don't have the cash. I'm just going to move that one over, so now we should have 4 on the... Put him on the construction materials. So now that is 4 and that is 8. Let's see, is he going to go around and pick up? Yeah, there we go. Because I want him to come up here and pick up some construction materials before he heads down there. Awesome. These should be able to keep this very well stocked with construction materials, which should make this a pretty constant drop-off, I would think. So just kind of looking around the map, this rail line that we have established can connect into Dudley, and then eventually maybe even jump over here and kind of get onto this island. And then it can also run from Honiton all the way up here to Bridge House. If we look at the terrain, the only problem with Bridge House is it's right up against this hill, so we don't have a ton of space to put in a station. I'd probably put one in like angled here, maybe hop onto this island, come down here outside of this goods factory, and then run all the way down to Honiton. That would probably work. And then for Dudley, if we look at the land, we've got a flat area right here. So we've got a hill here, or a pair of hills here, a little ridge. And then we've got this nice flat area where we could cut through to get on the Dudley side of this terrain over here to run a station into here. So I think that that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to need to get a little bit more money before we can do that. But I think that that would work. Let's see how these lines are doing. So, Warminster Crude, don't worry about that. That fluctuates. But our construction materials is doing fine, and the stone is also doing fine. which is great to see. And Farnborough should start, yeah, it's getting construction materials, which is great. These are actually doing a pretty decent job keeping up with the stone over here, so I might add like 2 more vehicles onto that line. Just to move a bit more stone. And then we're going to need a couple more construction materials vehicles as well. Maybe 2 more. I don't really mind if the construction material starts to overflow. It's not the end of the world. Put in a little building there. Just for decorative purposes, primarily. And then I'll come through and decorate all this after this video. But that should work. Now, Farnborough. Since we're activating Farnborough, do we want to set up a commuter route to Horsham? Could definitely do that. The only thing is that this is a pretty steep hill. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely going to affect the speed. And this road is already fairly out of the way to get over here. So let's see if there's a better way. Not really. We've got this pretty major ridge network running along here that's isolating Horsham from Farnborough that I don't think would be productive for stagecoaches. Like, they're really going to struggle to get up and over this hill. They're really going to slow down. One thing that we could do, though, is we could run a road down along this coast, past this fuel refinery, and come down to Newcastle upon Tyne. And we could set up a commuter route there. That's actually not a bad idea. So, why don't we... I'm going to break off this road, and I'm going to run this road in this direction, generally. And kind of just stay along this contour line. We're going to need to wait for that. There it is, the crude delivery. So let's go back into our terrain view here. Quick autosave. And then just kind of by sticking to this contour line, we're maintaining a good terrain height. You can see we kind of jumped it there briefly. But then we'll bend in here. Take this straight a little bit. And now we will reuse this road. So I'll just back that out a little bit. Bring that right into there. And then we can curve this off and run it right down this coast. And you can see that this is doing that terrain thing with the grass again. We will fix all of that. Again, we just need to wait to get a little bit of money to do so. So now let's go in here. Let's look at our terrain. And the way that I actually might do that for now is I'm going to back this off a little bit and I'm going to jump up here. Because where I want to connect in, I think, is going to be right here. So if we kind of come back here, back into our terrain view, I'm going to jump up here, up onto this contour, and kind of run in between these two. Just need to wait for a little bit of money. There we go. Crude delivery. So we'll go back into our terrain view, and we'll just run this right along here, curving up, avoiding dipping down right there. Now where do we want to? We want to come from here. Great, so now that road is established and it runs all the way down here to Newcastle upon Tyne. So now where would the best passenger stop be? I'm thinking... I think here would be ideal. But to do that, I think I'm going to take a road here. That's going to cost me 260 to put that in. I think we're going to do that. The only reason is you know that I like to get nice loops through here. So with that being said, let's go down here while we wait for that. And let's see where we want to put in our stop here. So this is actually a pretty good sized city. So I could have them come in, come down, and maybe drop like right there. And let's see what that line looks like. Obviously, we're going to do a turnaround in the road. That's actually not bad. I don't mind that. That loop, that'll work. And then what about down here? I assume it's just turning around, yeah, right in the middle of the street. And that's just because we need enough money to put in a turnaround point right there. Which we now have. So I'll just connect that in. Let's see, did it... Oh, they actually put a road in all on their own. Nice. And why don't I put the depot in down here by this fuel facility? So if I come in here and maybe put a depot in like right here, we can go ahead and get some stagecoaches. I might do 4 for now. And we'll put them on that line. And this is going to be... Let's see, this is going to be a bus in the future. So it's going to be Horsham to... I'm just going to say Newcastle. Bus. Do I want to say bus? What did I say over here? Yeah, I said bus over there. I might remove the bus. I don't think it's necessary. I think we'll know because it's a bus and it's Horsham to Newcastle. That'll work. So just to keep everything the same, I'm gonna get rid of this right here. And now over here, how long do we have them waiting? 60 seconds for a full load. That'll probably work over here as well. So on this route, we'll say wait for a full load for 60 seconds. At both ends. Let's see how we're doing for passengers. So we got 2 guys there. And 1 there. How is this doing? So we're getting a ton of stone down here, which is good. We could use a couple more vehicles on this Constructor Materials portion of the route. So I'll add a couple more on there. We've got a really healthy stock of construction materials here that need to be moved. Which is good. That's good to see. I might also get 2 more to deliver stone. Just to really get this going, make sure it's working. Awesome. This is working really well. Fixing this was absolutely necessary. You know, I don't really love... I really did try and save this with 2 separate recordings, trying to save what we already had, and it just wasn't handling it very well. So, as we repay this loan, we'll reestablish that shipping route, which will be good. Honestly, we could probably go ahead and reestablish it now, because this is bringing a ton of oil up here. And I can't look at what ships we have because I don't have a depot to look at them. But I think like the Riggy is pretty cheap, and it can move fuel, like 70 of it, if I remember correctly. So that could work. Yeah, these are taking full loads. That's great. Tons of people waiting over there. Good to see. Let's see. So one of them is actually not full. That's okay, though. This train line is running really well. So I think the last thing that we're going to do today is get this rail line kicked out here to Dudley. And we're going to need a pretty good amount of money to do so. And then I'll probably put in a station with a pass-through. Let's see how much this is going to cost. Yeah, it's going to be pretty expensive. Although, as long as I don't destroy anything, it's actually not too expensive. I'm going to get rid of that road. I'm just going to pause real quick just because I want to find a spot where I would be able to punch through without creating like too much trouble with the junction. I think like there would probably work. Because I also need to be able to fit a road in. Let me see if I put the road in first. So if I put a road in, like right there, and then connect that in. Gonna need a little bit more money. We're gonna need a decent amount of money to lay the track anyway. So, it's not the end of the world. And then I'll probably take the track right out in front of this facility. It's gonna do some terrain stuff, that's okay. We can fix it once we get enough money to start doing some major terraforming across the map. But I think it's gonna be really good to tie, what is this? Dudley into Stafford and Honiton on that train line. And then at some point, we could probably get a second train line, which is going to mean that we're going to need to start putting in passing loops so that these guys can pass one another. You know, maybe one like running here, a pass, maybe a pass running here, and then I'll probably put a pass somewhere in here as well. That will probably work. So we're getting this guy coming in, and that means we're going to have enough money to start laying this track here. You can see they connected all on their own. That's great. That actually saves me a ton of money. Oh, and this needs to be passenger. So let me see if I put that like right. If I put that in right there. I wonder if I can, if I go into the paint, we get like a concrete. Let's see. Asphalt. Wheat. Yeah, that's the one. Alright, so that's actually as close to the road as I can get it, so I'll just put the grass back. Okay, so now, let's lay some track. We're gonna need more money to do so, but for now we can get started on it. So if I just bring this... Oh yeah, now we're in the negative. Alright. Well, while we wait for probably another load of crude oil, or this train will also make us a good amount of money. This line's doing really well. We're keeping this pretty much filled up with stone. At least most of the time. But once it levels up, we're going to start to see that we just cannot deliver enough stone. But once we get this track laid, then this train that's running from Stafford to Honiton will also run out to Dudley. And this is actually going to be a bit of an issue. I think I'll probably cross here. Cross this road, that's not a problem. There's no traffic on it. Yeah, so what's... Let me just pause real quick. How expensive is this going to be? Yeah, it's going to cost us a lot of money. So... I'm just going to delete those. Hoping that they don't redevelop. See, now I don't have enough money to lay this track. Because what I want to do is curve this so that the road crosses the track at a 90-degree angle. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I mean, the game will function even if it's on an angle. But it's just more realistic that you would have a 90-degree crossing rather than an angle. While we're waiting, let's come over here. Let's take a look at some decorating over here. So first, I'm gonna get rid of all of these trees in here, just in this little area. And now, if we come into our paint, we get our dirt. Probably fill like all that in with dirt. Just like that. And then if we can find this asphalt color. Yeah, there it is. And we'll just make our crossing over here. Just like we have there. Just for continuity. Alright, so now we've got some money. So let's go over here and fix this. So I'm going to back this road out. And now I want to cross over here at a 90. Then we'll bend that back around and connect that back in. So now that line should be fixed. So now we can run the game again. Pretty close to a 90. I like that. And now if we curve out here, let's just look at our terrain. So we've got no terrain issues. And that's generally lined up with where we want to go. Which is good. Oh, come on. We only need 19,000. We can't afford it. There we go. Might just delete this out just because I don't love that crossing that just made. And we don't need to get down there right now anyway. Truthfully, I'm going to back that out. So we're going to run down here, and then I'll probably establish this track right here so that we can connect in here. And one thing that we can actually do, which I wasn't aware of, is we can snap to roads. See how that's snapped right there? I didn't realize that we could snap to roads. So I'll probably snap to the road just to follow this right here, and then branch that off into this station. And then bring that track right down in here. And I think that will work really nice. So now if we go back over to this Constructor Materials, kind of think about I have tons of assets in here. And one that I really like is this goods. So I can actually go in here and find construction materials. And it gives me pallets. Both the big ones and the small ones. And then I could also go find, like, stone. And I can get stone. So, like, we could actually put stone on this platform. So that, like, you can see that it's being delivered here. And I'll probably go through and do that, again, off camera. But just kind of showing you guys some of the cool assets that we have to work with in this build. And I'm interested as to why... I didn't realize that there was a dip there. That's okay, though. So now, if I just put this track in, just as a little guide, and then I grab it, and I want to connect it into there. Yeah, we maintain really good speeds. That's going to work really well. And you can see it's kind of doing a little funky stuff with the terrain. And we will come back and fix that. Truthfully, the way that I could fix it is just painting out the grass. So like I could come in here with this sand. And I could do something like that. That looks pretty good. And now we can connect this right in here. Gonna have to do a bit more. Get rid of some of that and then come down here and clean that up a little bit. And then, like, I'll probably even come in here with, like, the stone. And, like, I can even add in, you know, more stone, like, along here. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Whether you want me to kind of terraform this out a little bit so that it doesn't do all that craziness, or whether you're okay with that. And now let's grab this, and we just want to branch that right into there. So now that's connected up. And now we can come into this line, Stafford, Honiton. And let's see, after Honiton, we want you to go all the way up here to Dudley. And this train just got confused. Can't figure out which way I want to send him. But then after Dudley, we want him to go back to Stafford. Oh, no, I did that wrong. After Honiton, go to Stafford. There we go. And how long do we have these guys wait? Full load for 60 seconds. That should work. Full load for 60. Okay, and he's still confused. So we'll just flip him around, and now he's good. So now that's going to go from Stafford down to Honiton, back to Stafford, up to Dudley, and then back to Stafford. Perfect. I think I'm going to just put a quick waypoint here, because I want these guys... I want them to stick on this kind of main road and not take this side street, because as we upgrade these roads, these are going to be our two big main roads in here. Now, we need to get a bus stop up here. So if we put it right in here, right at the center of the station, and then maybe I might make a connection through here. It's going to cost us a lot of money, but I think it'll give us a better station location because, like, we could have a station down here, but then that doesn't catch anything up here. I could make that connection and then maybe even put 2 stations. So once I get this bus line established, it's going to, it's probably going to be the last thing that we do. This has been an interesting episode trying to fix my mistakes from the last episode and kind of get our finances in a much better spot. So now that we have some money, let's see. So if I make that connection, just pause real quick. We have a station here. So if I put a station here, that gets pretty good catchment, although it is kind of repeating the catchment that this station already has. Because that catches all the way down to there. Let's see. Maybe if I just put it like right there, and I'll get rid of this one altogether. And now the line that we're going to do is from this station down to this station. I'll make this like a blue color. So this is going to be a bus route, and this is going to be Dudley bus to train. And now how long do I have these guys waiting? So like if I go up here to the Stafford, full load for 60. So up on this line, at Victoria Road, I want them to wait for a full load for 60 seconds. And now this is no longer Stafford to Honington. This is Dudley to Honington. Perfect. However, Stafford is the place where we started. So now that we have some money, I'm going to go ahead and build our headquarters. Question is where. So this is going to be a main road, and this is going to be a main road. I might put it like right down here, kind of like on the water. Kind of stealing some good terrain for myself, which is... So let's see, if I put this in like right here, kind of sink that down. It's doing some terrain stuff that I don't love, just because this road's on a slope. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I could put it like off of the... Could put it off of this main road, like right somewhere right around here. Could do that. Could put it right here next to this road depot. Yeah, I'll put it right there. Please tell me I didn't put it backwards. I did. So I just need to flip that around. Right there. Yep. In the market transport. Awesome. All right, guys. This is going to bring us to the end of the episode. Again, kind of an interesting episode with some of the fixing that we had to do. But I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. And if you did, definitely like and comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know things you want me to work on in the future, things you want me to try out. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Definitely subscribe for more videos. And again, if you're new to the channel, check out the other series. It's linked in the description below. All right, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.